welcome back, guys, to my channel. This Xmaxx, I'm going to tear all the differentials apart on this again. Go through and put some new diff lube in them, check them out. There was some concerns. People were commenting on my last video a couple of years ago that I did the full video on this that everyone seemed to like. Some people are saying I put too much in it, and maybe, I don't know, there's a bunch of stuff on there anyway. But we're going to take it all apart. We're going to take a look at it, see if there was any damages. This thing's been running sweet, so I don't think there is. I have a new hood I'm going to install on it too. Well, obviously, it's just plug and play on that. But I'm going to clean this thing up. It's kind of been, I haven't really cleaned it since the last go around. And this hood is just kind of like demolished, as you can see. And yeah, we're just going to get everything cleaned up in here. It doesn't need a lot of cleaning because this screen cover has worked out really well on this thing. But we'll get it all cleaned up the best we can. That way I'm not getting dirt inside of the differentials or anything. When I get them apart, I want everything all cleaned up, all this grass taken care of. But then I'll tear it apart. We'll go through it all and just kind of have it a little transformation into a new truck again, basically. I got a new rear bumper. This rear bumper is kind of shot. It really is, it's seen better days. And we'll see if there's any parts I got to order for this thing. And if there is, I'll order them, and it'll be all in this video anyway, and we'll get this thing cranking again. And this is the shop downstairs that I built, kind of put together in the last year. I got a couple bikes I've restored down in here. These are, I kind of have like a little small video about that one and that one, just like video, picture clips anyway. But this is the little crawler course I built for this little Traxxas crawler, which I will do another video on that. I haven't even done a video on this little crawling course. I have like a board that comes down here. That way you can do the full course. Got the planes up there, boat, this little nitro car. This is where the Xmaxx hangs. Pretty cool. But there's a helicopter. Got some cool little toys. You know, I haven't bought any new ones in a long time, but I might. I'm not sure what I want yet. I got the TV set up, so I have it down here. It's a pretty little sweet little shop down here in the basement, out of the way and away from people. Oh yeah, there's the slashes. Sweet. All right, guys, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do like a time lapse of me just tearing this all apart, and then I'll slow it down when I'm looking over in each individual differential and put it in and back together and inspection and all that stuff. You can go back to one of my older videos where I really had an in-depth mechanical video of how to tear all this apart and put it all back together. So if you're looking to do that, you can just get into that video. It will show some of that in this, but I'm just going to really mainly time lapse this thing apart and all back together again. Like I said before, the differentials I will take apart and show an in-depth video of that a little better. All right, thanks. Okay, quick little break and reminder, please subscribe and hit the like button and hit the bell for future videos so you don't miss those. And I hope you're enjoying this video so far, and let's get this thing wrapped up. Okay, we get it all apart here. We get the rear diff out. This is the center diff. And then this is the front diff. And I already found an issue with it. This little bolt came out, broke. That snapped off. I don't even know how long that's been snapped off. I guess it's not a big issue because it has splines on it, but it could have popped out. But we'll have to extract that bolt in there. That's not gonna be fun. Anyway, we'll have to figure out, maybe I'll have to order some parts for that. So here it is. It was super, super dirty. I still got some cleaning ahead of me. Probably try to clean it up a little bit. I mean, you use them, they get dirty. What are you gonna do? But we will start digging into these differentials, get them all apart, and take a look at them, and then we'll clean everything up and get parts ordered that we need, and we'll get this thing back together. Okay, so we are on this front diff. Both the bolts broke off, the bolt heads. I don't know if you can see that really well. They both broke right off. So I don't know what that's how I'm gonna be able to extract that out, but cross that bridge when we get there. So those it looks really good in there. The fluid looks dirty, but it looks mint. I think it looks great. I'll clean this all up, and I still don't know how I'm gonna get that bolt out of that though. I'm gonna have to order a whole new one of these, or I have some bolt extractors, but the drill, I don't know. It depends how much this costs. We'll just get these apart, and that fluid looks really good in there. It's definitely held up good. It's gooey, but the seal looks okay. I might order a whole new seal kit, we'll see. Okay, here's the rear diff. Get this thing torn apart. Looks to be good. It's dirty. It's a good thing that I'm taking it apart to change it, but it had plenty of fluid in there. But there's 2 years worth on that fluid. We'll get it all cleaned up and redo this. Everything looks good. I'm just gonna have to clean that stuff up. I'll probably order a new gasket kit for this, and we'll get the new fluid in it. Okay, we'll get this center differential taken apart. Check this out. Okay, that's looking good. It's dirty, but it's looking good. And that's that 20 million fluid, which I have new stuff that will be going in there. Definitely taking that. Looks like you're gonna have to order a gasket kit for this too. Yeah, that gasket's ripped. Yeah, it looks like the seal inside of here is roached. Time for a new one. So this thing will need a seal kit. We'll probably just order all new seal kits for everything. Okay guys, there you have it. Xmaxx differentials are back out, all torn apart. I got them all in these baggies. This is center differential, rear diff, front diff. That way I don't lose the parts, and I'll have to order some parts. It's looking like my front diff, I'm gonna have to get possibly a couple new parts in that because the bolts, unless I can get the bolts out. I have a bolt extractor kit. I will try it. Hopefully I can get that out. If not, I'll have to order some more parts. I'm going to order all new seals and make sure I have enough differential fluid, and maybe go with a lower weight and try to see the difference, maybe for fun. I don't know. Go back to like stock, try it out. I'll have to clean all this stuff up. It's really dirty, but we'll get everything all spit shined up, all the parts, everything we need, and go through everything on this thing because it really needs a tune-up. I mean, it's been 2 years now, and I haven't really had to do any maintenance on it, so I'm going to go through anything that's worn out. I'm going to get some new drive cups. They have like a new style drive cup or thing that goes over it. I'm going to get all that stuff, and we will get her all back together. Stay tuned. Okay guys, I ended up having to order some parts. Obviously I had that, the differential output gears. I had the bolts that were broke off inside of that, and I ended up just buying new ones right here. Part number is 7782, and that's gear set differential output gears, 2 of them, spider gears, 4 of them. So it kind of comes as a little kit. I think it was like 18 or 20 bucks for that. I ended up having to get the hub carrier set for the front. This side over here, I don't know if I can get this to spread apart. You can see it right there. That ended up being broken. I ended up noticing that one of the bearings was stuck when I was spinning this axle. And I was like, well, that's not good. I'll have to order bearings. And then when I popped them out, I ended up noticing that that was broken on that side. Got all new bearings here that come in this kit, Pro Line. And this is like a more durable one with oversized bearings, which this actually was, I can't remember what ones it was, but it was also an upgraded version. But I was hitting some pretty big jump out in the yard that I had made. And this thing's done cartwheels, tumbling, and broke some parts. Didn't even know it. But so I also have the center diff gasket kit with a new aluminum housing. So it's got all the bolts and stuff with the Loctite already ready. That's 7781X is the part number on that. That's for your center diff. Front and rear differentials, 7781 part number. They're both the same. This is a seal kit with a, your gear housing or whatever, plastic, and it comes with a washer, all the gaskets and that. And I got this bearing kit for all the differentials. They all have a bearing on the end of them. So that was this TRBRC. I don't know, 20 bucks. I mean, I probably have a little over $100 right here. I already had shock fluid. I'm actually going to go back to stock shock fluid on this truck. 20 mil center diff. This is your diff fluid. I'm going to do 10K, 30K, and 20 mil fluid So I'm gonna go back to stock and try and see how this thing feels and handles, and you know how it's different compared to what I did in that last video 2 years ago. So, and then I'll have another video of how I think it, you know, the compares or whatever, just kind of give you my thoughts on it. I just want to kind of bring this thing back to stock, all brand new, and see how it feels, see how it goes. I've really liked this truck. When I first got it and pulled it out of the box, it was just like just something else, you know, and I loved the way it handled and rode, and I tried little tweaks here and there just for fun and maybe, you know, to make some of these videos. And I just want to go back to stock and see if I like stock better, or if maybe I want to try something completely different, you know. And it needs this little upgrade anyway, because these are all worn out anyway, you know, the gaskets and stuff. So, and then I got the Velcro for my new Velcro for my screen, you know, the screen cover. So I'll clean all this up. This thing is pretty, you know, it's average. It's got dust and grime all through it. I'm just gonna kind of clean it up the best I can. Probably go up in the garage and use my air hose and blow it out the best I can. Clean up all this, and we'll start building these differentials back together and get it back in the truck. So I also got these new diff cups, and they look really cool. They said they were billet aluminum, but they're steel. I put a magnet to them, and these are definitely hardened steel, which actually is better, to tell you the truth. I think it's a lot better. And I've slipped the dog bone end of it, the axle in, and it seems like they're gonna be pretty sweet. I might even throw maybe a little grease in there. I don't know. I feel like grease might stay in that a little better because there's no slits and it can spin, you know, spin. And it probably will come out a little bit, but I won't load it. I'll just kind of dab the end of the dog bone pins, you know. And I don't know, I only ordered 2 of them because the other 2 are okay, but because I just kind of wanted to try these, and if these work out, I'm going to order the other 2. I might just order the other 2 actually, because they seem pretty nice. Those are probably, I think they were like $18 or $20 also. Okay guys, we're gonna get all 3 of these differentials built and clean up the rest of the truck and transform this truck back to brand new. So stay tuned, it's gonna be cool. Okay. So this is the rear diff. We'll get tearing into this thing and clean all its parts up. We'll get the new part going here and start getting this thing all back together, get the new fluid in it. All right, here we go. Okay, we're gonna get this rear diff back together. I just kind of went up on this gear here, and I used an old toothbrush and Dawn dish soap, and I just kind of cleaned this up, and then I kind of wiped out where the seal is gonna go on the gasket. You just want to make sure that that's cleaned up. Nothing's gonna disrupt that seal, you know, from doing its job. Okay, get these out. Now as far as there's these 2 flat washers. They must go on. Aha, they go on this. So these 2 flat washers right here that it came with. You got 2 seals for these blue ones, and then this is your gasket seal right there that goes in there, you know, puts those 2 halves together. But these 2 flat washers, if you look closely, you got one here. Okay, that'll come off. There's your old one. Put that to the side, wipe that up, and we'll get a new one on there. Okay, we'll repeat, do the same to the other side. Just try to catch that with something, you know, I'm gonna use a razor blade, just be really careful if you do, and then I'll peel that right up. And make sure you don't get it mixed up with the new one. Wipe your old one down. On this one. Okay, put that new one on. And then you could even put this new seal on there. And put that seal on there. Then one of these goes down in here. That's what that does. Okay, and that seals in there. And then put your gears in. Just kind of line everything up. All right. Make sure it's pushed down in. All the gears are there. The center shaft's clicked in. That looks good to me. Now we are going to put this back in here, like that, like so. Like pops right in, nice and smooth. Okay. And you're gonna want to line that gasket up with these little pins in the correct holes. Pretty easy. It should just set right down in there, no problem. Looks good, just like that. And then we will get the differential fluid for this rear diff. Okay, I'm gonna stick 30 weight in the rear. Go back to like a stock format here with this thing. I'm not gonna put quite as much as I did last time. I feel like I might have went a little overboard with it. And I think I might have damaged these gaskets possibly. I think it was just maybe a little too much pressure. Maybe one of those guys on the comments was right. I mean, not everyone's wrong, you know? So trial and error, we'll let that kind of seep in, get to the bottom, and then I'll take a look, put this diff cup in there and spin the gears a little bit and see where we're at. Okay, let's hold this down, slide that in. Try not to get any on that gasket. Spin these gears a little bit. Okay, every once in a while, push down on that center shaft, they're not coming out. Okay. I'm going to put a little more than that in there. Okay. That seep in. Okay, I'm gonna go with that much. I don't want to overfill this thing. I feel like that's good, and then you gotta figure this part here goes down inside of there to connect to those gears. So that's gonna fill up that volume in there. I feel like that's plenty in there. All right, we'll get this cap back on, this gear. Just line everything up. There's like those little pins right here, those little black pins. Those little black pins right there, you need to line up inside of those little holes. And then obviously in the center is your center hole for your bolt that goes through. So I'm just gonna kind of Get that on. You can see it, and it kind of just clicks right in. All right, then we'll get the bolts in. These off by hand, just kind of snug them up. I don't want to strip those. Okay, I'm going to throw this other diff cup in here. See how this feels. Oh yeah, it feels good. Turn one side of it, see the other one go the opposite side. You know things are working right. Yep, so I go left, the top one goes right. I go right, the top one goes left. It's working correctly. Feels a lot smoother in there, a lot easier to go. Okay. So we will get the bearings that we need on this, on each end of this. So I'll match them up with the old ones. Here are the old ones. Put this to the side, and we'll get the old ones out. I mean the new ones out. Open this up. Match these up with the old ones, and we got it. Okay, we got all these bearings. Just gonna kind of, looks like it's only really, they're all the same size besides two of them. Oh. I'm wrong about that. Okay, there we go. So these are the two we need. Put the rest back in. We'll be using those later. So we'll get the old ones out of the way. And we'll pop these new ones on. And they go on nice and smooth. Nice brand new bearings. Pops right on there, a little force, nothing crazy, just by hand. And then we will get the diff cups back in here, and we'll put the screws back in. And this rear diff is all done, ready for installation. So one thing I'm going to do right now is just do this by hand, because I don't want to strip out or break that bolt. And I think I might have used my impact gun the last time, and maybe I broke that. I'm just gonna hand tighten that. Nice snug feeling. And see if that hopefully doesn't break again, because otherwise you're gonna buy that full kit. Okay, now this one is all set, and we'll get that installed once we get all the other ones done. So new bearings, the diff cups on this one were okay for now. I am going to upgrade it to that other style if I like them, but we have all new seals, the housing's new, old gears were used, new diff fluid back in there, stock 30 weight fluid. All right. Okay, we're gonna get rebuilding this front diff, which this one needed the new spider gears and the output gears. This little kit here, 7782, because I had broken, those studs got broke off inside of the diff cups. So we'll also get these new diff cups over here, so we know to put those in. Those came with a new screw kit also on this. Brand new screws. It looks like it came with an extra, that's why there's 3. And we'll get that to the side. drop our gear system in. Try to grab it from the bar that's underneath the top bar, you know, so you don't lose them. Semi-line those up, grab it, and drop in. And then what I like to do is take a flathead and just kind of push those in to the grooves a little better. Push this down. Maybe give that a little spin as you're applying pressure under that center shaft. And it looks like that's all nice and set in there. Now we can add our diff fluid, the 10K weight in the front of this. Okay, we'll drop that. We'll get that set on there like that, a little gasket. Make sure that's all seated good. Okay, we get this ready for install, all cleaned up. Just kind of use the toothbrush and Dawn dish soap in the sink. And we'll make sure that everything's in there and gonna seal up right. We'll get this back in. Click that in, that went in nice and slick and smooth, no issues. And then we'll get our gasket back on the top of this. Remember just to line up those pins with the pins, the holes with the holes. Just make sure it's set down in there, no fighting it. That looks good. Okay, don't turn it too much so you don't dump the fluid out. But I don't know if you can see it. I have the fluid so it's just at the bottom, like it's just filled up to the bottom part of that gear right there. Like you see where it tapers, that's the tall part, that's the low part. I just filled it up to that point because if you look, you can see this gear here sticks out past that, and that's where your gasket's gonna sit down in there. So that's gonna go down in there and actually kind of fill that other part up there a little bit. So you need that little extra room. So you line this up with your holes. Don't tip it to the side, kind of do it from its top down. And then push down, you can kind of feel it, just kind of goes in. Feels good. Okay, we'll get these bolts back in. I just kind of try to hand start them a little bit, make sure they're lining up. That should be good. So we will just kind of do a little test. Okay. Now we're going to get the bearings on. The two bigger ones. Pop those on. Get your diff cup in there. Same with the other side. Pop that on. New diff cup. And then we'll put the diff cup bolts in there. Okay, looks like we're good. It's working correctly. Feels good. There's your front diff, ready to go. Okay, we're going to do the center diff now. So I'm going to get these parts all out. See what we got to clean. That's going to be cleaned. There's the gasket on this one was torn right apart. So obviously that's a one that had to be replaced also. Okay, we get this stuff cleaned up the best we could. I kind of went up and scrubbed these also with Dawn dish soap and my toothbrush, old toothbrush. I didn't do the little parts because I was worried about them falling down in the sink, but I wiped them off the best I could. It'll be good enough for sure. Let's open this up, get these new parts out. Okay, that was 7781X for the center dip. All the new hardware. So split open, get it ready. Okay, we're gonna get the flat washer on this. You have seal on there. Okay, we'll get this built. All these back together. And if you look down inside of this aluminum housing, you see how one end of this flat bar has, one side of it has like a tapered little edge to it. The other side doesn't. Okay, now you can see that little groove in there. And then also one end has little 45-degree cuts on them. The other side doesn't. So that's gonna have to go down in like this when you get it all together. So just be aware of that. Okay, get those little cuts right there. And these are not cut, facing down. Same with that side. Just double check all your angles on those little flat bars are facing down. The little V grooves are facing out. And then put it right in. I just take a flathead and I kind of guide everything right in, very gently. Everything should just go smoothly in. There we go. That looks good. Get some down pressure on that. Sometimes I like to put this in. There we go. And it kind of lines those gears up just a little bit. Give that a little spin. We're good. Now we'll get this 20 million weight fluid in the center diff, and we'll get this thing back together. I'm gonna go with that much. I feel like that's good. I pressed down in the middle, so there's room for this. And we'll get the gasket on and get it all back together. Okay, we're gonna call that good. Looks good. We're gonna get these new bearings put back on. Okay, so I'm gonna have to reuse these bearings, but they feel They feel okay. I don't know why that kit didn't come with them. I thought it did, but I guess I was wrong. Okay, get that put on. Now this bearing, it goes to this. So we got one right here. Okay, I think it goes on there. There we go. One of these sides, I can't remember which one it is. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Okay, so center differential is all put back together. Okay, we're gonna get the Xmaxx chassis all cleaned back up and get the differentials back in it and make this thing like brand new again, so stay tuned. Okay guys, there it is. All back together. Woo! Doggy, look at that thing. That thing looks great. Oh yeah. A brand new Xmaxx. Let's get it out here on the floor. Woo, that baby looks good. Brand new. I love the new hood. It's like my other one, but cooler colored. Definitely awesome. All right, thanks for watching, guys.